Oh man.
We're live, dude.
Oop,
We're
there it
on.
is.
It's it. Hey, this is a late one, Tim, but we the show must go on. What a
Let
crazy day today, man.
Oh man, it was, brother. I second
Yeah,
that
man.
motion.
It was back to back phone calls, consulting. It was nonstop. And so finally
Oh
got
man.
Mateo into bed. Whew. It was a long day.
Oh man. Hey, you know that but tornado, Chicago was on tornado watch. I'm like, Chicago?
Chicago? Yeah, it all
Yeah.
places. I know. Wow.
Then it says snow flurries and seen in Philadelphia.
Chicago. Wow.
Yeah. No. It was tornado watch in Chicago and snow flurry watched seen in Philadelphia.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
I said, "What?" I said, "Yeah." I said, After Trump got almost assassinated, all type of stuff happened."
Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, we talked about that a little bit. We were going to do our other podcast, but we were busy. You had some family. We were doing things, and
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
isn't that crazy?
Oh
As
my
we're talking,
goodness.
I'm just putting this over on social media so everybody knows we're live.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they.
I was. Where was I at? I was just. What was I doing? I forgot where I was, and somebody called me and said, "Man, Trump almost got assassinated." I'm like, "No, stop playing." I said, "For real?" I said, "Look it up." I looked it up, and I'm like, "Wow,
Isn't that crazy, dude? Shot his ear off.
dude! Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, so crazy, crazy. Because this guy's done so. He's done so much for everything, and we're just seeing him. I mean, what Joe, I think the worst Joe's had, and you shouldn't wish that. I don't care who it is. Like that's just not. That just tells you we're in trouble as
Oh
a
man!
as a country. You just
Oh man!
like when we start seeing that, but it's going to be hard for them. I don't know. Everybody's everybody gets to stop listening to the news and all those guys because it's just so like it's funny some of the news is we're saying Trump fell at the rally or Trump was injured at his it didn't they wouldn't in the far left media they wouldn't put Trump was
Right.
attempted assassination. Yeah, they were just like Trump was injured at his rally. Like,
Oh man!
it's
And
like
they shot that guy, a 19-year-old boy, man, 19 years old.
yeah, it's sad. Sad. It must have been mental health issues. Like me and you
Yeah.
worked in the mental health field
Yeah. Yeah.
because
They Go
he
ahead.
wasn't trained. Yeah, I was just saying he wasn't trained. So I think because any that's scary. But see, what scares me the most, Tim, and then we'll jump into our what we're on here for is that think about this: a 19-year-old boy was able to come in and do what he did.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
freaky? Yeah.
That close. It almost happened. Yeah. But the sniper shot him. They shot him quick. Shot and killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but for that to happen is like, I mean, I'm like, they really
He
trying to keep this guy out.
Yeah, they got in there. How can this kid get up on the roof in such a close proximity and take that shot without anybody
Yeah.
seeing it? Yeah, that's crazy.
I thought the same thing. I'm like,
Yeah,
what roof did he get on? Be so close to shoot like that?
yeah, scary, huh?
Oh man.
So
Oh
yeah,
man.
so fun times. We're in a crazy time, man. We,
Yeah, bro.
so I feel it. Or I think everybody's feeling it, but we got to really hunker down and come together instead of divide. Um, I think that's what needs to happen now. We need to ignore all parties, ignore how they're trying to, put everybody against each other.
Yeah.
And that would be my cry that everybody comes together and joins one
Yeah.
another instead of.
See,
Defy change.
but think about that. Everyone have their own agenda.
Yes.
You
I
know.
hear a lot of the chat rooms. It's like conspiracy theory, this and that, and
Mhm.
I'm just like, call it what it. We don't know what it is, but it was a. We don't have the information. We can't comment on it. The dude got shot at when there was people dead. What else do you not? What information don't you have? You know.
Right.
Interesting, man. Yeah. Well, that's where we're at with all the fun stuff in the world. Which let's jump into what we're here for. What are we here
Right.
for?
We here to talk about fitness, being in shape, getting in shape, staying in shape.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's talk about it. I was trying to fix. I'll have to fix that in after.
Yeah. Matt, how
Yeah.
you doing, bro?
I'm doing better. So I'll tell you my journey. We can talk about that, and hopefully this helps somebody because when I don't call them diets anymore. I'm eating a meal plan or a healthy plan, a balanced plan. Because if one thing in talking, hey, I'm on another diet, right? It's not what I'm doing. I'm just learning to eat healthy.
Right.
So what I did is kind of took your advice, like you said, hey, just eat till you're not full, but be conscious of it. So I started just eating. I'm 7 days into it. So when I started, I weighed in at 240 because I just got off COVID and being sick. So I blew up because it was a lot of water weight, and I was frustrated. Me and you had that conversation last, and so I says I'm just going to start this. And so I
Right.
did 4 meals, very simple meal plan. 4 meals. I get up, and it's high protein. But I add the fruit and vegetables, like you say, add more, fruit, more So I say, like today was eggs, 3 eggs and some vegetables. And then my snack was a little bit of nuts with some vegetable. And so that's all it was. It's very balanced, and it's every 3 hours. And then nothing after 6.
Okay.
And then lots of water. I got rid of I don't drink any caffeine, no more Monsters.
Okay.
It's been about 2 weeks now. No, none of that stuff. Because we don't realize
Okay.
how bad that's on your system. Like if you're over caffeinating, if you're slamming that stuff to get going. So drum roll. So that's 7 days ago. I'm now at 231.
Oh
So
man, dude.
dropped a lot, and I'm wearing a shirt I haven't wore. So you say always look at how you wear your clothes fit, right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
shirt I haven't put on in a long time. And so it's fitting a lot better even when I was killing myself in the gym for
Yeah. Yeah.
90% of it. Yes, you got to show up, you got to work out, but 90% of it is what you put in your mouth.
Right. Right. Right.
And
And
when
and,
you put
and I'm gonna add this, Matt.
Yeah.
We just got you saying about caffeine and energy drinks. Some people, they're not aware. They just do it because they need
It's a
the
fab.
energy,
Yeah.
or just something. But understand that the energy drinks, it speeds up
Heart.
your system or your heart. Yes,
Yeah.
it speeds up. I mean, it make your heart. If your heart is beating, boom, 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 boom. When you drink that, boom, 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 boom. It speeds everything up, and it make your heart beat at an irregular heartbeat.
Yeah,
So
it's
be
definitely
conscious
not
of that.
healthy. Yeah.
No, not at all.
And
Not at all.
so what I suggest is look at what kind of, and honestly I think about it, Tim. Today I realized it's been that many days I haven't had to use that, and I feel better, to be honest. Like
That's good.
I think it's got to a point where now I'm feeling the benefits of not shoving all that caffeine down my throat
Right.
just to stay awake, right? And
Right. Right.
so there's a different type, and it takes a minute because when you're so used to getting that stimuli off the caffeine, then your body has to get used to it, right?
You're
Like,
used to
hey,
not
ex-
taking it.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. So it just depends on what you're going for, how you want to kind of do it. Because at the end of the day, that's what's worked for me. Like I'm seeing some loss here, so I'm going to stick with what I'm doing. And when you start seeing that, it's measuring. So like when we're in business, I always teach this in business. When I have my clients, it's matrix, right? It's
Mhm.
tracking the measurable things.
Right.
And so if I'm seeing the weight drop, I'm doing something right.
Right.
So let's keep it because that's what works for my body. And I think my body type, I need a lot of protein. So I just
Okay.
increased the protein. So I'm maxing my protein out. But I also am doing carb cycling. You ever seen that? Like where you
Mm.
cycle the carbs. So one day you'll do a little bit of high carbs on leg day because you're gonna really kill it on legs. And then the
Okay.
next
Yes.
day you do low carbs because you
Okay.
don't need the energy. You don't need
Right.
that. So you can do some of that, which I notice it's helping me. So I'll do, and I don't change my meal structure. I still do my meal 3 hours apart and nothing after 6:30. I try to stay 6:30, nothing after that.
Right.
And so and it's working. So I think that's something people have to talk about because now, do I still need to hit the gym? Of course. You
Mhm.
gotta, like yesterday I did HIIT. I just did what I hear Tim always say, just do body weight or work if you can't. So I just went in my gym here and I just did HIIT where I did like 20 seconds of what was it? I'm trying to think now because burpees. And I did
Oh
20
man.
seconds of where you do the try push-ups on the bench,
Okay.
20 seconds of pulse or jumping lunges where you just kind of pulse it a little low, and then 20. And I did about 6 or 7 of those things and did 4 rounds of that. Just 20
Oh
seconds,
man.
20 seconds, 20 seconds, then round one. My heart rate was going from 145. I had to max it, and then it's like my watch is like get below, calm. Like I'm like, oh, this is getting the heart rate up. Dang. And then I drop it. So, and the key of HIIT is having that heart rate stay 130, 140. That's when you're in the burn. So, that was a good session. So tonight I'll hit it later. I did it at 10. I'll probably hit a late one again because
Oh
it was a
man.
busy day. You just got to be committed. I think
Yep.
I'm in it. That is like me and you talked about. I've hit a lot of my goals. This is one goal I need to focus on.
Right. And excel and exceed like you did your other goals.
Yeah. H before W, right? Health before wealth, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah,
Most
because
definitely.
you can have all the wealth, but if you have no health, what are
Yeah.
you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like towards the end, we know here in Vegas, what was his name that ran the Palazzo?
Oh,
Addison.
Addison, Mr. Addison. Yep.
Spent part of his time in a wheelchair, because I don't know his full history of his health, but think of that. That guy he had so much money.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
But poor health.
maybe he had diabetes. We don't know, but my point is it doesn't matter how wealthy you are if you can't enjoy it. Um, it's what's it for?
Yep. Yep.
And let's say you're making a good living and you're healthy and you have your family, you can still be. Happiness is a choice. But Tim, you're good at this and you've done this a lot. Wealth doesn't mean huge amounts. I mean, you've talked about this, and I think people need to understand this is focus on your wealth and don't overspend and don't have so much debt. Because if you don't owe things and you have things paid off, you're wealthy. You can only make you can make 60,000 a year and have no debt,
Yeah.
no payments.
Yeah.
Me and you've always drove low. Like, there's a moment I had this car I bought, and I'm like, nah, and I went back down to because I've always owned Hondas, right?
Right.
And you have a Honda. We both have been there,
Right
and
there. Yeah.
the reason is they're good cars and they last for a long. I think I got like 350,000 out of my Honda.
Right. Before you gave
And
it up.
but if you pay that off, think about all the money you save. So now I can focus on my health, so I can pay the gym membership. I can buy a little bit more food because I'm not over maxing myself by paying an expensive vehicle, or
Right.
they're just
Yeah.
vehicles. They're
Yeah.
not worth a huge payment, right? That's what Dave Ramsey always teaches, right?
Yeah. Oh man. These people that put on this facade of this, will
Yeah,
have this
man.
image of having expensive cars and barely making it. I mean, to me, that's
You-
crazy, bro.
even when
Crazy.
I could afford the car, I still didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I just never cared to have those type of things, like it's just like, hey, it's nice, but it's going to break down. It's going to cost me a lot of money to maintain. It's not worth it. The worst investment is a vehicle. Go get a, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go like my Mazda. I love it. Paid it off. Don't have a payment. I mean, isn't it nice not having a car payment?
Oh man, I haven't had a car payment in
Yeah.
what? Oh my God, about 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
And Ford and Honda keep asking me, "Oh, you want to come in, trade your car in?" I'm like, "Are y'all crazy?" I said, "What sense is that? That don't make no sense. I want to trade my paid off car in to get a car payment."
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy.
And the rates right now, you'd be ridiculous to do that, right?
Oh, horribly ridiculous.
So, and the reason we're having this conversation because you can now, if you're watching what you're doing, you can then spend that money, health before wealth. Like, hey, do I really need to rack this credit card up to do this? Or can I go do a membership at a gym to get healthy? And can I have that money that I would pay on this big, huge, fancy car to, even if you're wealthy, like, okay, you have the money, hire a trainer then, or, put that health first before you go buy another $100,000 car, right? Because what car is the best? And this is where I'm going, I guess, is that car the most important vehicle, or is it your body?
Man.
Yeah. Because,
but as you know, Matt, so many people want to look important. And for many people, a car make them feel important. And they cherish the car more than they cherish their own lives.
That's sad, man.
Which is crazy. Which, I mean, it's just a car.
Each is their own, I guess.
Yeah, but a lot of people like to showboat. This is what I got. This is me. This is mine.
Yeah, and they sit there and they see it later that it doesn't pay off. Yeah, so that I'm going to change my camera here. That's probably better. There we go. Oh, look at that, better.
Oh man, that's more bright.
All right, so yeah, we're talking down this road because I think let's explore this a little bit more, because I think people don't realize the most important vehicle you can invest in is your body. Because if you have a healthy body, I have to get over that mindset of I'm not worth it, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough. And you have to invest into what you own. So if I'm putting what I put in my mouth is what I'm going to get out.
Right.
And so food has to become an energy, right? It's a source of energy. It's not, yes, when you get to that point, you hear it all the time. When you get to your weight point, you can then kind of zig and zag, that 80-20 rule.
Right.
But these healthy gurus, they're already like massively huge and fit. And when they tell you that doesn't mean you, that doesn't mean me. Maybe Tim can get away with some chips and a donut once in a while, but we have to work to get to where we need to be. It's kind of like the same thing. If our car's making a sound, we go to the mechanic, right?
Right. Right, of
and
course.
If we use that analogy, who's our mechanics as humans? It's doctors. But we don't want to. Hey, we do have to go change our tires and rotate and do oil changes, unless you have an electric car.
Right.
You still got to change your tires.
Right.
Windshield wipers.
Right. And that battery is very expensive.
Yeah, that battery can blow up on you.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, there's those components in your body. You got to flush it out. You got to treat it. You got to put things in. You got to take. Tim and I were big. You're big in fasting, Tim, right?
Oh yeah.
You like fasting? Yeah.
Come to find out, I was reading an article earlier. They said from fasting, your body can't create gallstones.
Cannot or can?
Can.
Ooh, well.
Yeah,
don't create gallstones, dude.
Oh, too late. I have one in my right kidney.
Oh, dang.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, well, how did I get it? I'm like, it got to be the sodium.
Do you like milk? You drink lots of milk?
No, I don't drink. No. But milk have gallstones?
Some calcium buildup, because that's what gallstones are. Is it like a That's what I heard. Don't quote me. So
Yeah. Well,
We can chat GP it and check it.
yeah. But one thing I did read, they said what can have gallstones is olive oil and lemon water in the
There you
morning
go. Yeah.
and juice in the afternoon. I'm like, really? I'm like,
I
okay.
started you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I started I do what you said. I take a glass of lemon water and drink it first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I think has helped too. And then I started doing a glass of a little half of a glass of beet juice in the
Oh,
afternoon
really? Oh
because beet
man.
juice helps with the blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, your blood.
yeah, post COVID, I started having blood pressure issues. Like it was weird, dude. Like I was hitting like 150 over 90 and never
Dang.
had that.
Wow.
So I noticed. So I just started that regimen. So I'll get into it. So like I'll check it. You know, that's what they say. We'll see how it does. But exercise, eliminating a lot of things. So it's came down. So a lot of times post COVID, you have a lot of inflammation. So you got to get
Yeah.
that inflammation under
Yeah.
control.
Yeah. And the part where they
Mm.
say your food uh it helps your energy level or it depletes your energy level.
Oh yes.
And I can contest to that.
Yeah. Well, you just do a test. Like go like 2 weeks without any sugar and clean out your system. Like go for 30 days without sugar and clean out your system. Then go eat a donut after that 30 days and see how you feel.
Yeah.
You want to puke, or you're
Yeah.
like, why does it feel so? It
Yeah.
tastes so weird in my mouth. It feels yucky. Now I feel like it's crazy. The body will say, don't like it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
tastes
Yeah.
good here, but it doesn't down here. Like the body's like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but some foods that you eat, particularly junk food, it really messes up your system and it makes you lazy and even gets you sick.
Yeah.
Uh, I ate something a few days ago. I have ate in a while, and after I ate it, I just started feeling this. Oh,
What
and
was it?
pizza.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
pizza.
I love
Now
pizza.
I you got to come over because I made pizza today, but I made it in my pizza oven outside. So I have a pizza oven out on the patio. You've seen it, and so I was like, I'm gonna make some pizza. So I got the pizza crust, a certain one. It's really thin, so it's not too heavy, and then I just lightly spread on, and all I put on it was chicken with a whole bunch of like onions and broccoli and just healthy stuff, and
Really?
it was on my diet plan. So it was, but I had to put a lot of chicken on because it was a protein
Okay.
concept,
Okay.
and so I could have 2 slices, which equaled a certain amount, and it was good, dude. It wasn't too full, and it like when you eat the crappy greasy pizza,
Yes.
you just feel
Yes.
like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to have pizza night, and we'll make some pizza here,
Oh
and
man.
but we won't have all that grease and all that crappiness. It's
Yeah. At Greece. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
that's what does it, man.
Yeah. It gets me
Yeah.
sick. When I was younger, they get me as sick, but now it gets me sick.
You
So
just take a piece of napkin off the Caesar pizza or whatever, and that whole thing's soaked with like so
yeah.
nasty. Yeah.
Especially Pizza Hut. Pizza
Oh
Hut,
yeah.
Little Caesars. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So people, if they hear this, you can create healthy things out of foods you love. Like that's the thing in the meal plan that I worked with on a dietitian. And it's like, no, you can have that. Just you got to measure it. You got to say, okay, like my snack the other day was. Do you like pork rinds at all?
Oh man, those
Yeah. So that
high salt, dude.
I know, but you can have a little because we're using the fat, right? So you can't go over a handful. You don't need a whole bunch. Does that make sense? So you're
Mm,
just yeah, it worked. It worked.
really?
But you just what I'm trying to say is there's certain things you can do, but you have to figure out how to because if you got to measure it, right? So if you're gonna do that kind of thing, measure it. Like nuts are you got to be careful with nuts because they're very fattening. Like if you eat a lot of them, so you got to
Really?
measure. Like yeah, it'd be 1/4 of a cup is good, but they have healthy fats. But if you overdo it, it can be too much of that fat. So like They always say
Mhm.
one avocado. Don't eat 3 avocados a day. Half or one.
Right.
And bananas, you don't go bananas, right? You don't eat like 6 bananas one day.
No, sometime too.
Yeah, 2, yeah.
Right.
But you
Uh,
like bananas, right?
oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh,
man.
you'd like the recipe I did. I did a banana pancakes on Saturday for my yeah, all I did, this is here's how easy it was. Took 1 banana, smashed it, put an egg in it, or 2 eggs, scooped it up, and then put a thing of protein in it, and then scooped it and just made it into consistency, and then made 1 big pancake. It was great, it tastes good. A
What?
little bit of cinnamon on that with some sugar-free I use sugar-free syrup, but put a little bit
Oh,
on that. It was good, man.
oh man. I never had.
Yeah.
I never
All
had. I
all pro
never ate that.
Yeah, all protein, and that was a good compound of about 46 grams of protein in that one banana pancake.
Oh man, dude.
No crap in it, because all it was is protein powder, eggs, and a banana.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was
Oh,
good. I'm a big pancake person,
oh really?
but how do you make those is the question. So I've been, exploring um,
Oh,
how to make them so you can
I
you
I
don't
I I never did that.
you have to try it. I'll take a snapshot of the recipe. You can try it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tasty too. It was good.
Oh man,
So
dude.
now you're a Southern guy, so I did one. I cut some chicken up. You ready for this? You're gonna love it, man. So this is
What
kind
you
of
do?
so I cut some chicken up into pieces, and then I put it into a thing, and then I'd use some barbecue sauce, a little bit of that, and your favorite thing, honey. And then I mixed up certain things, and then I put it in there. I made it kind of a breading out of some healthy bread. So I used kind of the bread and put it all together. So it breaded all the chicken. So it was honey barbecue, sweet, hot. And then I put a little bit of hot sauce. Like I used, what's the one red model? Shoot, I can't, you know what I'm
Uh,
talking about? It's pretty
uh,
popular with the chicken on it.
it's Frank's. It's Louisiana.
No, keep going.
It's red hot.
I think it was it the red hot? It might have been the red hot. I have to
Red
look.
hot Louisiana.
So I used it might have been red hot, so I used a little bit of it, and so that spiced it up a little bit, and then I so now that it had the crust, then I put it in the oven, cooked it, it came oh, man, it was good.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, so and that was a
Oh,
whopping that gave me about, 52 grams of protein in that meal, and it gave me enough and then it had the your macro and micro because it had the, carbs on the other stuff I put on it. And
okay.
it was like what you said, it wasn't overfilling. It was just right.
Right.
'Cause I didn't
Right.
add other stuff to it. I didn't
Right.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
as they do for other things called fillers.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
add
I
fillers to it.
yeah, I'll share one more recipe was I did, meatloaf, turkey meatloaf, which was easy, with a little spice, because then I put, chipotle in that one. So the recipe was really easy. You take 2 pieces of bread, healthy bread, like, kinda high grain bread, break it
Okay.
up into a thing, put a little water, get it in there. You put a little bit of cayenne or a little bit of pepper, salt, and then you put then I took, chipotle, a can of it, and then I put because it comes in the actual because 'cause I'm in a Mexican house, so I have tons of chipotle everywhere.
Of course.
So I take a little can, throw it in a blender, blended it. Then I put a little bit, like, probably a half a cup in, threw the turkey in, ground that up into a meatloaf, put a paper or, some tin foil on a cookie sheet, made 2 meatloafs out of that, and
Oh
then put
man.
it in the oven for 25 minutes. It was great, dude.
Oh man, dude.
Tasty, high protein, lean meat. It was turkey. So, it was good, man.
Boy, you be over
So
there cooking them, man.
yeah, well, I'm a good cook. I used to work in those kitchens when I was younger, so I can
Oh
cook.
dang.
As long as I have pictures. I'm that kind of chef, Tim. I have to see the picture.
Right, right,
I'm not
right.
I have the worst, growing up with the intellectual disability, and the worst thing is trying to convert. like the measurements. Like, okay,
Yeah.
1/3 of a cup. How do I? Yeah, okay. So,
Yeah.
you're looking. All right, we're on a podcast in the middle. No, let's talk about another health, Tim. So,
Uh,
well, anyways, we'll make this. We're coming at 30 minutes. Tim, Transformation Tuesday. We talked about some fun recipes, some health. With everything going on, because your environment that you're around, with all the craziness that we talked about at the first of this,
mhm.
does that affect our health and our our anxiety if it's up?
Most definite. I
Yeah,
mean, the effects of your community, the things happen in society, especially if you really tune into news,
yeah,
uh, it can get you depressed. It can get
yeah,
you where you just feel everything is overdone. You know, all the fight is over or whatever, and it can definitely get you in a mood where you don't want never do anything or even want to go out the house.
yeah,
It wears and tears on your morale, um, your effects of life.
yeah,
Where it'll deprive you from going out to the gym and even just living. It'll keep you from living because you too worried about the cares of the things you hear, the things that's going on in the community. But if
yeah,
you're driven, in your own mindset, to what you want to achieve, to what you want to do, who you want to be, you know, uh, and you keep the perspective of what you want, you know, I mean, you can achieve it, but it's totally up to you, if you want to achieve it.
yeah.
It's a personal mindset.
It is a personal mindset, because if you're garbage in, garbage out, right? So if I'm
Right,
watching garbage, it's going to cause me to want to eat garbage, because I'm just like depressed. Like, that's the
right.
way I can look at it. So if you think of, hey, you know, so um so the big thing on when you have when you're thinking of those things is just streamline it, because I would tell people this: the higher your anxiety, the higher your cortisol is, because you
Yes.
got to control your hormones and your increase. So if you're always anxious, like my son, before I was just putting him to bed, he goes, "Daddy, I get scared when when I'm in heights, and but this is a 7-year old. You guess what he says? He goes, but I when I get nervous and I get into that and I feel scared, I just got to go with it. I just learned you just got to go with it, because you're gonna miss. And this is a 7-year old telling me, Tim. I'm
He
like,
said that.
yeah. I'm like, Matthew. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
what planet are you from, dude? Because most adults can't even get over that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we just had that conversation. I says that's really insightful, Matteo, because you just got to push through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this goes with your health. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he act like he's an old soul as if he been
Oh
here
my gosh,
before.
dude, you have no clue. Like, this kid, like, says things, I'm like, what the heck, man? Yeah, and it goes with your health, because you got to push through it. No matter how many times you fail, get back on the horse.
Yeah,
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 because you're gonna fail, but failure is never final. Success is never ending. Because
right.
if you count up all the weight you would have failed if you would have just kept going, think of that. I can just give up and let loose and become 350 pounds, or
Yeah, yeah,
it's that easy,
yeah.
right?
It's more easy to let it go and be big, fat, huge, and you know a couch potato than to get up and do something about yourself to stay in shape, to look a certain type of way, to be a certain type of way, to eat a certain type of way. It takes extra energy. It's easier to just come home, kick your shoes off, don't straighten nothing up and just sit on the couch. Stop on the way home, stop and get some Applebee's or some McDonald's, Burger King, and just relax for us. It's easy. It's
Yeah,
easy to do that. But it's work to change your mindset, to want to be in shape, to do things to be in shape.
yeah,
It's work. But
and you got to work at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if you fail at it, what is failure? Failure is just another way to success.
Oh, you got to
Learn
fail
from it.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah, just learn from it. Get up, dust your
Yeah.
shoes off, dust your knees off.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, look at us two. We were told in school we'd never do anything, right?
oh my God,
We're
man,
good.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. So and we just kept falling forward, and you have like lots of degrees, or you went through
Oh
school.
man, I
And
have degrees that guys that I went to school with. They say, "How did you get that degree?" They said
yeah,
that degree was too hard, and I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Wasn't that hard to me?" You
choose
know,
choose your hard and choose your pain, right? So
right,
it's hard to be heavy, and it's hard to be fit. So which hard do you want? Which pain do you want? It's painful to be sick, and it's painful to be in shape,
right,
because it takes
right,
pain to get there, right?
right. Of course, of
Yeah.
course,
So
of
you got to
course.
choose your hard, choose your pain, right?
Right.
And the same thing with education, choose your pain, choose your hard, because
Yeah,
it wasn't easy for me and you to get there, but we got there. Where
man.
some it might be
Yeah,
easier, right?
yeah.
And
Because
that's yeah, go ahead.
without our education, we wouldn't have made as far as we did,
Yeah,
or even the jobs opportunities we had. Some of the things position we were in, it required us to have education. Whether we knew the information or not, it required us to have the education.
yeah, we
But
had
with
to.
education, we learn certain concepts, certain ways, certain things that help us, become to what we became. So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and I suppose the people that don't go to school, they stay stuck in a, you know, working for somebody for the rest of their life if they don't get their own business. But more than likely, you'll be stuck, work for somebody because you didn't go to school and you are stuck in a job that you don't want to get. And I think I told you before, Matt,
mhm.
the time that people get the most heart attacks, the time that most heart attacks occur is 8 o'clock Monday morning because people working in a job that they don't want to work.
Oh, that makes sense, man. Yeah, I didn't think of that. eight
Yeah,
o'clock Monday morning. So I'm gonna
8
skip Mondays now. I'm not gonna go to work. Wait, I don't. Oh, just kidding. We don't work, right? Oh, well, we do. We train people.
yeah, we do what
You
we want. We
yeah,
don't do what we have to do. You know, and because we chose education, that made
yeah,
provision for us. As
correct.
for people that did choose education, I mean, not everybody that don't go to school are not successful, but some people are just determined to, have their own business and find a way to make it work. But however, for the most part, most people that don't know how to start their own business, they stay stuck in a job if they
Yeah.
don't go to school. And they stay stuck in
R
a job that make the most minimum uh
and
and the lifespan.
And the cool thing I think for you is and me, we're very minimalists. So we're not like we don't need a lot to like we're not like, hey, we need to have all this. And so
Right,
it also your lifestyle when you're what is more important? Again, H before health before H before W is minimize things. Don't you don't need everything. And we're in a society as Americans, hey, supersize this, make it larger.
right,
Like
right. Give me
give me
more. Give me
bigger. Yeah, give
more.
me
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like when I go to my wife's country in Mexico, they use whatever they have and they use it till it's gone or they
Right.
go without. They don't it's very different. So it's kind of fun to travel abroad because you get to see difference. Tim, we're
Yeah.
coming on up 40 minutes. I know you're a busy guy. Um, you got a lot of busyness. So I know we got to jump off here. So what is something you can, on your way out, what is something we can kind of close up? Give us some wisdom of knowledge as we close out this conversation, Transformation Tuesday conversation.
Like I always say,
Yeah.
come up with a plan uh, that you can, conquer your fears of shortening your life. Because when you're not in shape, more than likely you shorten your life. Because
Yeah.
I think it goes the hour of cardio, hour of exercise, increase 3 hours of your life. You
Hmm.
know, So come up with a routine to increase your life, to increase your process of wanting to be in shape, to do better. Because if you're big, uh, the concept also goes, a big person, uh, a person that thinks whatever. How'd that go? Uh, you look like what your mind is. So in other words, if you're a big person, uh, and a lot of big people don't look in shape, so they said that's their mindset. So uh,
Mhm.
get your body right, and what am I? I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm
If you want to call it
I'm,
tired, whatever.
yeah. But anyway, my whole point to that is, get your mind right. Get your
Yeah, I
mind
like
right
it.
to get your body right.
Get
That's what I'm
everything
trying to
right.
say. Get everything right. Yeah, because it all starts right here first.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
agree
saying.
with that. Yeah. Yeah. Mindset, keeping your mind focused and being on the. So, anyways,
I
I,
could explain it right, but hey,
yeah, no, you got it right. Yeah, I think just, as we go out again, biggest thing is, just focus on you. Make sure that number one is you. Put yourself first. There's always Stephen Covey said the first things first, right? What is the most important thing is you, because if your body, as we talked about earlier in this episode, is or in this conversation, is that your body is like a car. If that vehicle breaks down, what do you do? Because you can fix a car, but it's going to take longer for the body to heal. So put the right gas in, have fun, like we were talking about, experiment with your recipes. It doesn't need to be boring, it can still be healthy. But as we always say here at Transformation Tuesday, is just start, just get
just
started.
start.
Yeah. And
Just
it's
do it.
okay if you fell, get back on the horse.
Yeah, do
Till next
something
time.
instead of do
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
what I'm
it.
saying, do something instead of do nothing.
Do nothing. Well, till next time, I'm Matt, your host, along with Mr. Tim. And if you need anything, get a hold of Tim. Join our Transformation Tuesday group. You can find us on Facebook, and also join our YouTube channel. And let us know if you have any questions. Send us a right direct message. We'll get back with you. Until next time, take care, guys, and we'll see you soon.